Okay, alright. There we go. Hey, it's me. Since for a few of my friends, some people have been struggling with some of the games. A few of them, mainly like this one sucks. I don't know what to say. Evil game. It's fun. Evil. This one, I like this one, but a lot of people do not like caramel, so I thought I could try to do a little bit of a run through. I'm probably not gonna go for the true ending, but this is mainly just like a guide on how to play. So it's like you have like the whole basis of like, you fire, use the camera, you get the crystals. I guess the little thing to cover is like, if you let go of the fire button, they automatically go to you. So you can use that to your advantage, but when you hold down the fire button, you also get that charge shot that fires the reflective shots. And it's really strong, and like in this section specifically, it's really good because you can just kind of go like this and then wham, hit them in the back. But yeah, this game's only sucks a little bit for people because it's just really weirdly designed. Like you start off with 0 lives, so if you die in the beginning, it's just game over, which is odd. I don't know why they did that. Just a little unusual, I guess. Also right here, it's about midway every main stage, you will end up seeing like an enemy that's like pink and red. If you hit them with the camera, it instantly kills them and they drop a wrench. If you pick up the wrench and you haven't taken a hit, it will give you 1,000 points, and if you have taken a hit, it's a free heal. Also here, I'm an idiot. That cookie boss, if you're just going for like beating the game and you're not going for a score run, dude, you don't even focus on killing him. Because he's not worth it most of the time. Should mention I might die once or twice in this because I don't practice this game that often. But hey, Also, right there, there's a funny letter hidden in every stage, or every main stage. If you get all of those, then you get access to the secret final level. During this fight, what you really want to do is you want to not focus on hitting the boss until he's back at the right. You want to avoid all the projectiles, and you want to just focus on getting gems to keep locking him in place. So, like, whip out that charge shot and stuff. And yeah, it was a little quiet because that boss still scares the hell out of me. For him, though, it's really just you never want to focus on him. You just want to focus on dodging all the green rings he fires, and whenever he's bouncing around, just hug at the top and make sure you're not under a pit when, like, jelly beans start falling. Also, besides that, you want to be sure. I don't know. It's You want to keep firing your spread shot at the little corks that are on that right side, because that's where you're going to get all your crystals. And whenever you see them come up, just stop firing, grab it, and then you can start firing rapidly again and just go for that. Next stage is the transition stage. There's two of these, and really you want to use these as a sort of opportunity to build up your multiplier and try to dodge like all the enemies. Not really enemies, but projectiles. And like you want to aim for like hitting the big objects with your camera to get that point multiplier. Because like as I said, it's like if you do die, it takes you back to the beginning of the stage. So, most of the time, you're really just focusing on not getting hit, and the lives are just like a supplemental buffer. Like, you'll have to play through the stage again, but it's not a big deal, I guess. Since the stages in this game really are not that long. The only thing that's frustrating about it is the fact of you do not get a checkpoint, which I think that's weird. I don't know why they did it like that. It's really strange for a cutesy, like, you know, Poppin' Twin V sexy Parodius type of looking game. It's just a little weird to me. But yeah, that's the second stage. This stage is a little 50-50. It's really, this is one where it really digs into your head that you want to use the camera to like get rid of some types of enemies. Like, I'm not using it on these guys yet, and they dash at you once you get closer. But what you can do with this, kill them before I actually got to hit them. There's points in a lot of stages, like where you see those little dolphin turrets. You want to use your camera to make certain enemies just fall to the floor. And if their body hits another enemy and you don't shoot it, that can actually kill them as like an environmental kill of sorts. So it's pretty helpful. This level, I really don't go for using the camera that much, except for like when the train is here, because it's a free huge point burst that doesn't waste your time. And here, in particular, I'll like kill that guy, so it doesn't matter. Like, there is a good example of when you want to use the camera like that. And I got hit. Uh-oh. Kind of getting a little behind farther than I wanted. Well, might have to no-hit this. That little red guy that spawned was the guy you want to focus on hitting. Might also get hit here if this guy keeps getting closer. That's the second letter. And that guy, you can kill him, but it's just, the odds of doing it are just very slim because he has a ton of HP. This area, I would definitely say you want to focus on just dodging the projectiles. Because they have a set firing time, but it's like, there's just a lot that happens, especially like in this little lead-up area right before you get to the boss. I might be able to no-hit this. I might have to play through the stage again and not make a mistake, but this boss is... Every boss is pretty much the same, where it's like you want to hit them whenever they are frozen by your camera. This guy... Yeah, well, I died. So, I gotta repeat it, but hey, it's a good way to show things I missed. Or I might just cut this bit out. But... I guess this is also a good time to mention, if you do die and you took a picture of the letter... you got the letter. You don't have to take a picture of it again, so if you wanted to, per se, focus on one of the enemies again, you can just do that. But, like, you could already see that, like, this stage, it's honestly even shorter than the first stage. So having to do parts of it again really isn't a big deal. But yeah. For the ghost boss, really all he does... He's not even the threat, because all he does is he will fire out a projectile, and I got hit again, because I am terrible. But he fires out a projectile, and when it hits the rails, it launches a orb that just kind of... It kind of bounces around, and it rides the rails alongside everything else. I'm also doing this terribly, but it doesn't matter because we got our hit back, because I'm not going for points. Yeah, see? He is killable. But most of the time you're never going to get it because you have to use your camera to get that, like, that other bit. But yeah, in this part of the stage at least, you really just want to focus on dodging the bullets. Like, don't focus on kills unless the enemy is, like, something that will 100%, like, ruin your day. But I will definitely say, if it ever feels annoying having to replay a stage, you really just have to remember in the back of your head, if you're not going for score, the levels really are not that long. Which is, like, kind of the crazy part. And, like, for this, you don't even have to, like... I don't believe he can hit you when he's invisible. So, like, you can literally just hang out around here while you're waiting for him to do anything. Yeah. It's really just, whenever you're fighting this guy, you just want to be watching for the projectiles from those minecarts that are going around. It's very rare that the ghosts are going to spawn in the bottom area. Like, the bottom right section. The odds of them spawning and hitting you is very small. And now, the second transition stage is... There's only one thing in this stage that's a major pain in the ass, I would say. And that is the squids that spawn around halfway. Also these. But it's like, you're slow moving, you get an indicator when the rockets are spawning. It's really not that hard to deal with those. For the squids, what I would say is you want to try to have your charge shot saved to just fire that out right when they're spawning. And you can see I really didn't go for all the other enemies. It's because the squids have a very erratic moving pattern, and I'm not exactly sure how it works besides bobbing up and down in a chosen direction. But it's besides that, it's like not usually that bad. Ooh, I got hit. But we're on the end part of the stage, so it shouldn't be that bad. Yeah. And I got hit because I'm stupid, and I got greedy. I don't know why I went through there. But I guess I could actually try to show the squids too. And it's really just... Every stage in this game, I want to say, is about maybe... Like, these are about a minute in total. Like, they're really not as long as they feel. But yeah, you can see, like, how they move. It's a little insane. And you can see, like, I'm not even, like, putting my focus on most of them. I got hit again. But that's not really a big deal. I guess this is also a good time to mention, too, that you might see that my score keeps resetting. That's intended. Because I guess the intended design behind that is that they don't want you to be able to, like, find a stage that you're really good at and then, you know, farm a ton of points. Because unlike games like Star Wasper where you die, the game just keeps going. In this case, the game does not just keep going. Yeah. In this case, though, I do believe, like, hanging in the back of this level is just, like, the best case scenario if you want to just focus on staying alive. And every time I brought that up, I've gotten hit. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, for this bit, you really just want to, like... You don't even focus on getting points here. If you just want to survive, you just go for that. And then here... Oh no, it's gonna hit me. Just kidding. Haha, they got you. Aha. Funny. But yeah. And this is last stage. For this one, the letter is right at the start. Right there. So if you're fast enough, you can get it before these birds come. This level is okay. I would say I definitely think it's probably it might be the easiest level in the game beyond certain enemy types that show up. Like those guys, sometimes they just hit you. Those dinosaurs, you want to stay low And the whatever the hell these things are, they're pretty non-threatening. They just kind of... Well, I'm an idiot, so I just got hit there. But they kind of don't do anything. These dinosaur heads are also, like, non-threatening. They really don't do anything. These barriers are kind of annoying. If you hit them while the projectiles are going, then, you know, yeah, it bounces your projectiles back. I was just trying to pay attention to whatever the hell I was saying right there. These are very lenient, surprisingly. You get plenty of time for whatever you need to do. And that's your free heal in the stage. It's really just, like, in this stage, it's just a lot of, like, turret enemies blocking your way. And you really just, like, want to keep an eye out. Like, you want to use the camera on that guy. Use your charge shot when you can. I save that camera for that part too, just because, like, those guys, if you're sitting around, they're just gonna lob missiles at you and you can't do anything about it. Yeah, and that bit right there, you get just enough time to go through. And we're approaching the end of this level. The end of this is just, it's kind of a war of attrition. I will say it's probably the part that might piss people off the most if they keep dying. But this is where the final boss spawns. And what you want to do is you just want to keep focus, like, you can take your time here. You just want to keep your focus on firing your charge shot and everything, and also avoiding all these skulls. And luckily, they drop a shit ton of crystals. So it's really most of the time, and also, it's like, I feel like this is an unintended way to get lives. Okay, you don't get points from them. This boss in particular, by the way, really only has, like, one terrible attack, and it's firing out arrows. There's also this. But we may be good? Yep. Wow, that was good. He didn't even get to do the worst attack. I guess another thing to mention is you can see I got hit by those projectiles. It was mainly where I was positioned was the main reason I got, like, the main reason I got hit. Finishing my Wawa. But yeah, your positioning plays a huge factor into this fight, and you could see in the bit before she spawned that those red skulls spawn, like, a ton of those crystals. So it's pretty much as long as you're, like, spread firing periodically too, you can just kind of have a ton of crystals on screen, stop firing to suck one up, get your camera charge, hit them again, suck up the other crystals while you're firing, and you can just wipe her and she can't do anything. And now we're going in to the true final boss with 3 lives. This guy's interesting. So this is it. My advice, you gotta wait a little bit first. And what you want to do, I might die here also, is this is a very, like, patience-based boss fight. Because you can see right there, he just violently slammed himself back to where he goes. But all you do in this fight is you wait a little bit. You fire your camera and you want to try to shoot. It while it's ringing around. I am terrible at this fight, by the way. I feel like it's pretty obvious right here that I don't look at where I'm looking. But yeah, 1 life left. I'm probably just going to take this one slow instead of, like, playing recklessly like I'm going for speed again, since this is just a way to show. Should be mentioned, too, that you definitely want to just, like, pay attention to the projectiles and where this guy is going, because he is a major pain in the ass. there we go. I got a little scared, but yeah, that's it. But yeah, it should be mentioned, I guess, too, that whenever you're doing this fight, pretty much if you're getting to like the 8,000 point threshold, the interval increases and changes. Most of the time, if you're playing well, you'll be here with like 4 to 5 lives, probably more if you didn't die at all, and then you can use that threshold to just you can just use that threshold to make a few mistakes on the final boss, or any stage you might not be particularly good at. But yeah, yeah, that's caramel though. It's definitely not the hardest bullet hell in this game. That goes to Star Wasper, and I am never recording a guide for friends because that game just moves too fast for me. After I got the cherry, I kind of stopped playing. It's my most played because it took me like 20 hours to get that. But yeah, I will say, in my opinion at least, even though I died on stage 2 because I was an idiot, I will say if you are getting frustrated at this game, stage 1 is the hardest stage. Just because if you're focusing on like killing the mid boss, and the egg itself is kind of random a little bit, they're just very overwhelming compared to the other bosses you have to fight in this game. Because like the mid stage guy in stage 2, like in the train level, that little guy in the tunnel, he really doesn't do anything, and he rarely gets close to you. And then in the other case of like the train boss himself, also not that bad. And then there's like no mid-stage boss in the third stage. It's just breaking those little machines at the end and then fighting the boss, and you can literally literally stun lock it. So yeah, it's not too hard. I hope this was helpful for somebody to look at, alongside seeing my mistakes too, to know it's like this is a hard game. So if you keep screwing up at all, it's just hard. That's it. But like once you get it down and you understand when to use the charge shot, when to use the camera, when to drag the crystals to keep using the camera, it's pretty fun. I might even go for a score run at some point, I don't know. But yeah, you can even see I didn't get the top score. That's it though, bye! Bye bye! Bye bye!